Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. David Glasser. I'm the superintendent of the Shaker Heights City School District. I am here to provide my regular summer update regarding our 2020-2021 school year plans. As many of you know, I'm going to be announcing today or sharing with you what our plans look like for the 2020-2021 school year. Before I do so, I want to really thank a lot of people who have helped us get to this point. The list is exhaustive, and I won't be able to thank everybody individually, but as you can imagine, a lot of people have been working tirelessly to make sure that we have an excellent plan for our students for the upcoming school year. Some groups that I want to thank specifically: our learning and teaching department has really spearheaded a lot of the work for this upcoming year. Our business and operations team has spent a lot of time making sure that we have the supports in place to create successful learning environments for our students. I also want to thank our collective bargaining units. We've been working collaboratively with our Shaker Heights Teachers Association to plan for the upcoming school year, as well as our other employee groups. I'd like to thank our board for all of their support and input and involvement in this process. I would like to thank our communications team, who has done a lot of incredible work, both behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, to help communicate and plan for communication for the upcoming school year. And of course, I would like to thank our Shaker Schools community for all of your input, your thoughts, your ideas, your questions. This plan is certainly better because of your support of our schools. With that, I'm going to share some slides just to be able to walk through the plan for the upcoming school year. All right, so as always, I'll just start with some topics. And before I forget, of course, some regular housekeeping items. You are always welcome to submit questions. You can submit questions in advance on our website, www.shaker.org. We try to answer those questions in the course of the presentation. Because I'll be sharing details of the plan for the upcoming school year, I won't be answering questions directly, but I imagine I'll be answering lots of questions in the course of the presentation. You are also welcome to pose questions in the Facebook Live chat panel or in the Zoom chat panel. While we can't answer those questions in real time, we do monitor those questions and try to answer them at a later date. Finally, I know we have many people watching this presentation live today, but these presentations are also posted on the shaker.org website. We post the video of these presentations, as well as the transcription and the translation in a variety of languages. So you're always welcome to watch these after the fact. With that, I'm going to jump in. These are just some of the topics I'll be talking about today. Some of these are review, or I'm going over some information that I've already shared, like our guiding principles and county alert levels and how that will impact our school plan. But then I'm also going to go through details related to the school the plan for the upcoming school year, like start and end times and what we'll be doing for each of our grade levels. All right, so as always, just to start by reminding everybody what our guiding principles have been in this planning process. Priority number one has been student and staff health and safety. I know I've talked about this at length, and I'll share some specific protocols or measures we're putting in place to ensure student and staff health and safety. We know in our current landscape of COVID-19, that the virus is continuing to spread, and that's particularly true in Cuyahoga County and within Shaker Heights. And so we want to make sure that we are prioritizing student and staff health and safety. This plan also rests on our district strategic plan. It's aligned with our district strategic plan, which rests on two pillars: educational equity and the International Baccalaureate Framework. And so that has really helped guide and drive our planning for the upcoming school year. There are a number of extensive health and safety protocols that we will be putting in place this upcoming school year. Again, like my thank you list, this list is not exhaustive, but I think gives everybody a sense of how seriously we're taking the need for health and safety protocols. And these are things that you can expect in order to ensure that we have in-person learning this upcoming school year. So first of all, we are putting in place we are putting in place an expectation, a requirement that students and staff complete an at-home symptoms checklist or questionnaire prior to reporting to work or school. We are also expecting that all staff will be required to wear masks. All students are required to wear masks. We also will have face shields available. Just to be clear, we are asking that if you have a mask for your child or a face shield if needed, that you provide one for your child. We will also have masks and face shields available for students on buses and in classrooms for those that don't or that aren't coming to school with them already on. We're also ordering child size masks in addition to adult size masks. So we have those in stock. We will also be implementing physical distancing in all of our buildings. We are able to get to 6 feet physical distancing in all of our buildings at the K-4 level, depending on the number of students who enroll in in-person learning as opposed to our Shaker Virtual Academy. We expect to have a physical distancing range of 4 to 6 feet. We know that that's really important. We also know that everybody's used to 6 feet of physical distancing, and we are happy to announce that we will have plexiglass dividers in place wherever there are students who are sitting or in positions that are less than 6 feet physical distancing. So we will have plexiglass dividers that really look like personal cubicles. You might see something like that at a library or in a testing situation. So we're glad we're in the process of ordering those, and that will be another health and safety measure that we'll be taking to ensure the health of our students and staff. Our kindergarten through 8th grade students will be in pods. That means they'll be in cohorts that they will stick with throughout the school day. We will also have teachers moving classrooms whenever possible to really eliminate or at least reduce significantly the amount of movement of students in our hallways. For high school students, it's a little different. We unfortunately cannot have high school students in pods because students take such a wide variety of courses, but we will have traffic structures or traffic patterns in place to both minimize the numbers of students and staff in the hallway at any given time, and also to make sure that physical distancing is possible even in the hallway. So for example, we'll have one-way hallways and other measures in place to ensure that physical distancing is maintained even when students are in hallways. We also will be limiting visitors to our buildings. Really, the expectation is that there will be no external visitors to our buildings except in the case of emergency. I should add that this aligns with Ohio State guidance for our schools. We will also be putting in place extensive cleaning protocols. Our buildings will be cleaned thoroughly at the end of each school day and between groups of students. We also have cleaning protocols that we're putting in place to ensure that high touch areas are regularly cleaned and that cleaning equipment will be available and accessible for students and staff so that we can constantly and regularly clean and disinfect our learning spaces. Lastly, when we have suspected or confirmed COVID-19 cases, we will have protocols in place to make sure that we are letting people know who need to know or who are required to know that a positive case has occurred. We will be working closely with the Cuyahoga County Board of Health and really following their lead and their guidance in terms of implementing those positive case protocols. All of this information that I've just shared, along with a lot more information, will be available on our website, www.shaker.org, imminently. I would say within the next hour at the latest. Our website will go live with plans for the 2021 school year, including more information about each of these health and safety protocols. I mentioned this on Tuesday, but I want to review this, which is information about our county alert levels or the health state advisory levels and what that means for school plans. So as many of you know, the state has put in place a leveling system, which really just helps counties understand the level of risk in the county related to COVID-19 spread. It's a 4-level system, with 4 being the worst. So they're also associated colors, so purple being the worst level, and level 1 being really the best or the least risk of COVID-19 spread in a county. As of this afternoon, Cuyahoga County, I believe, has been listed as a level 3 county. When and if Cuyahoga County is listed as a level 4 or purple county, or under a level 4 health advisory, then then all of our students will be in a remote learning environment. This means that we will not have in-person learning for students if we are at a level 4. If we are at a level 3 with a star, then again, all students will be in a remote learning environment. School buildings will not have students in person. If we are at a level 3, then we will be considering the phased-in return to in-person learning using the hybrid models that I'll be sharing momentarily. If we are at a level 2 or level 1, then we will be able to consider ways to possibly expand in-person learning. I want to be clear that if school were to start today, then there is a possibility, I would say even a strong possibility, that we would be starting the school year in a virtual setting or in a remote setting. The reason for this is because we know that in Cuyahoga County and in Shaker specifically, the number of cases continue to spread, and there may be a need to start our school year in a remote setting. Obviously, today is not the start of school. We're not starting school this week, so we have some time to make a determination about this, but I want to be clear that it is a possibility that we will be starting school in a remote setting. Regardless of whether we start in a remote or in-person setting, school will begin for students on August 24th. This is a change from the original calendar, which had students reporting to school on August 19th. As many of you know, if you watched the board meeting this past Tuesday, we are recommending to the board and expect the board will approve a calendar change so that students will report to school starting on August 24th, Monday, August 24th, instead of Wednesday, August 19th. This provides us with some additional time to make sure that we are fully prepared for the start of the school year and to provide professional learning and opportunities for professional collaboration within and among our teaching faculty. As I mentioned, schools may start all remotely, and when schools start in person, we will likely start with a phased-in approach, and I'll talk about what that means. If school starts in person on Monday, August 24th, then we have built a tentative phased-in start of school model. And I'm sharing this with you now so that everybody has as much information as possible and can prepare accordingly. For grades K through 4, the phased-in approach this is tentative, but this is what we are projecting. The first day of school for kindergarten students in person will be on August 24th. Once students start coming in person, they will remain in person at the K4 level. So all kindergarten students would start school in person on August 24th. All first and second grade students would start school in person on Wednesday, August 26th. August 28th as a professional day, so there will be no students. So we've built in another, I should have mentioned that in the calendar update that I gave a couple minutes ago. August 28th, Friday, August 28th is also going to be a professional day so that our staff and faculty can review the first week of school and revise and reflect on, revise the future of school, what happens next. All third and fourth grade students in this phased-in approach will start in school in person on Monday, August 31st. This phased-in approach at the K4 level allows us to monitor what having students in person looks like. It allows us to make sure that we are really limiting or reducing the risk of any kind of exposure to COVID-19, and that we are putting in place and implementing our health and safety protocols. For grades 5 through 8, the phased-in approach will look a little differently. August 24th and 25th, that's Monday and Tuesday, Students who are scheduled to have in-person school on an A week will report to school in person. August 26th and 27th will be in-person days for students who are scheduled to be in person on a B week. Again, August 28th will be a professional day. Grades 9 through 12, the phased-in approach will be the implementation of the 3/4 hybrid model, which I'll go over in a minute. But high school students will start the school year with the 3/4 hybrid model in place. If you have questions about this, we will be sharing more information for families at the appropriate grade level through school building communications. In our school plan, the start and end times of some of our buildings is changing. And I want to just share with families information about what start and end times will look like. So for pre-kindergarten, both for the half-day and full-day AM models, school start time will be 8:45 a.m. And you can see that the end time changes depending on whether your student is in a half-day or full-day model. I'm going to jump to the primary schools, K through 4. For K through 4 students, the school start time will now shift to 8:15 a.m. This is a change from previous years. So school start time for K through 4 students will be 8:15 a.m. Obviously, there will be transportation. So for those students that are using our school buses, those buses will be arriving earlier for students. School end time for K through 4 students will also be changing to 2:00 p.m. Again, this is a change from previous years. There will be some opportunities for targeted student support after 2 p.m. for K through 4 students. For students in grades 5 through 6, school start time will be 8:45 a.m. Again, this is a change from previous years. And school end time will be 3:00 p.m. And at the middle school, school start time will be 9:15 a.m. and end time will be 3:30 p.m. Again, this is a change from previous years. This start and end time change will allow us to implement this model, and we think also makes sense given the context of our upcoming school year plan. For high school, start and end times will vary for students based on their assigned schedules. I've said this, I've reviewed this before, but I want to clarify for everybody and confirm for everybody at this point that in the pre-kindergarten year or years, we will be implementing an A-B hybrid model. That means students will be alternating weeks. They will have an in-person week, and that will alternate with a remote week, an A week and a B week. That is true for both half-day students and full-day students. I'm happy to confirm that in grades K through 4, we will be able to implement an in-person model 5 days a week for students in grades K through 4. I'll talk a little more about what that will look like in the next slide. Grades 5 through 8, we will be maintaining an A week, B week hybrid model. Again, like the pre-K model I just described. This means that students will be alternating with an in-person week and rotating that with a week where they are engaged in remote learning. And grades 9 through 12 will have a 3/4 hybrid model at the high school. This means that students will be in person 3 days a week. And when they are in person for 3 days a week, they will be in school or in person for 4 hours out of the school day. And the remainder of their time will be in a remote learning environment. These models are necessary for us to be able to maintain the health and safety protocols that we know are required given the pandemic. I want to spend a little more time just on the K4 model because some of that information has changed over the past week, and I want to be clear about where we are right now. So as I mentioned in the K4 school plan, we will be able to bring students in person every day. We are targeting a class size or pod size of 17 students. This number may vary a little bit depending on the learning space and virtual academy enrollment. So if depending on virtual academy enrollment, this number may go down. It will not go up. It may go down depending on virtual academy enrollment. depending on the learning space, in some of our larger spaces, it's possible we may be able to fit more than 17 students. But as a general rule, we're targeting a class or pod size of 17 students. As I mentioned before, we will also be maintaining physical distancing in our K-4 schools. After continuing to review the space that we have available in our buildings, I'm happy to report that we will be able to maintain a physical distancing space of 4 to 6 feet. We do not think we will need to use 3 to 4 feet at all, so 4 to 6 feet physical distancing. And wherever students are sitting within at any distance that is less than 6 feet, we will have plexiglass dividers so that students have barriers or plexiglass dividers that's shielding them from any other student. I know we've gotten a lot of questions about Shaker Virtual Academy. I will go through more information about Shaker Virtual Academy here. I will also say that there are sample schedules for all of our schools, including the Shaker Virtual Academy, available on our website. So I will provide some information here, and there is a great deal more information available on our website at www.shaker.org. And again, that will be going live imminently. Just to review, the Shaker Virtual Academy is a fully online learning option for students who, for whatever reason, are unable to return to school in person. We are expecting that for students who enroll in the Virtual Academy, that there is a minimum enrollment commitment of 1 semester. This means that you cannot switch back and forth between the Virtual Academy and the hybrid model in the middle of a semester. Grade K through 8 classes will be taught by Shaker teachers. High school classes will be taught by a Shaker teacher when possible, or by a third-party online course provider when it is not possible to have a Shaker teacher teaching the course. But even when a third-party online provider is used, a Shaker teacher will be monitoring students' progress in the online course module. We will continue to offer AP, Advanced Placement, and IB Diploma Program courses in the Shaker Heights Virtual Academy. I also want to confirm and emphasize that access to all in-school services and extracurricular activities will be possible or will remain for students who enroll in the Virtual Academy. The enrollment form will be going live with our website after this presentation, and we ask that families who are considering the Shaker Heights Virtual Academy enroll by July 31st. I want to go over some information about transportation. Transportation will continue to be provided to eligible students, K through 8. Students who ride the bus will be seated 1 student or family unit per seat. Just like in our schools, students will be required to wear a mask or face shield on the bus. We will have masks available on buses for students who do not come with one. We ask that our families and students maintain physical distancing at bus stops. We also recognize that there may be some families who do not want to use school buses at this time. We will have an opt-out form available on our website, and we will be sending that to families so that you can indicate whether if you are not interested in having your student be transported on a school bus at this time. Also, food services. Meals will still be available for students whether they are in school learning remotely or whether they are enrolled in the Shaker Virtual Academy. Students in grades K through 8 will be eating their meals in classrooms, and high school students will receive grab-and-go meals either at the end or beginning of their in-person school day. More information about food services will continue to come out over the course of the next few weeks. I've alluded to this website many times over the course of this presentation, and I want to reiterate here. In the next few minutes after this presentation, our website with fall 2020 with the 2020-2021 school year plans will be going live. That website includes all the information that I reviewed today with all of you. It also includes lots of information that I did not review. For example, you can see what sample student schedules look like at all grade levels, including pre-kindergarten and including the Shaker Virtual Academy. You'll also see additional information about health and safety protocols, and you'll see information about the way that school will be operating as it relates to the different Ohio health advisory alert levels. I know I've said this already in the presentation, but I want to reiterate that there is a possibility that we may have to start school remotely this year. Currently, we're at a level 3, and that means that COVID-19 is still spreading in our community. That said, I think we have developed an excellent plan to provide learning, whether it's in a remote setting or if possible in an in-person setting for our schools. We're all looking forward to having schools start again for the 2020-2021 school year. I will be providing another summer update this upcoming Tuesday at 3 o'clock. I also want to highlight that we will be having a forum or a panel discussion related specifically to the question of childcare. This upcoming Wednesday, July 22nd, we'll have 2 options, one at 12 noon and one at 7 o'clock p.m. And thank you to all of our partners who are helping put together that childcare forum. If you want more information, please visit our website, www.shaker.org. Again, our 2020-2021 website will be going live in the next few minutes. As I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, all of the plans that I shared today would not have been possible without the work of lots of people, including members of our staff and faculty and our community. So thank you all for all of your work, your input, your ideas, your suggestions, and your questions. I know that those will continue to come in over the next few weeks, and we welcome them so that we can continue to provide information and continue to strengthen and revise our plans and our implementation for the upcoming school year. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day and a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.